Hi everybody, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to teach you how to do a DIY Dollar Tree sock gnome 2 ways, and then we're going to doll them up each holiday. So we're going to use these diabetic crew socks. You guys know I love them from me, but I love them for this project. Then you're going to need some fuzzy socks. They don't have to be these particular ones. They're just going to make the neutral color ones what I'm going to do today. We're also going to use some rubber bands, and then we're going to need something to fill them with. I was recommended that I fill them with epsom salt. These are 32 ounces of epsom salt bags. I have 2 of them. Or you could use white rice. This rice was $1.78 from Aldi for 3 pounds. And then we're going to use some of the white chamois car cloths. They're microfiber car cloths from the Dollar Tree, as well as your gluing device and your cutting device. There are other faux furs out there, and there's also some special yarns that you could sometimes find at the Dollar Tree, but they pretty much always have that microfiber cloth. And I think if you put the nap the certain way that I'm going to show you, that it does look enough like faux fur to get away with it, especially for the price that the faux furs actually are. Okay. So what we're going to do is we're going to take one of the diabetes socks, and we're going to just pour it in there. Now there's lots of different ways to do this. I actually watched a video, lots of videos, but there was a video, people use funnels, but this one woman, she actually pre-poured hers into like 32-ounce cups, and then she just put the sock over the cup and dumped the whole thing in, which is ingenious if you ask me. But I just want to show you guys, no special tools required. I'm just holding the sock open with my hand, of course in front of the camera, because why not? But I'm just holding that. I rolled over the top of the sock and I'm holding it open in my hand while I pour the epsom salt in. And I honestly got, we're going to put in a bag and a half of the epsom salt from the Dollar Tree, and I got to the very, very last tablespoon or so before I spilled on the table. It figures. But it's no big deal. You just clean it up. And then what you want to do is you want to take, when your gnome is where you want him to be. This one is going to be a short and squatty gnome. This was Lisa's preference. She likes the ones where the beards actually are hanging on the ground. So we made him short and squatty, and we made this one with the lavender epsom salt, so it could work almost like aromatherapy for her. Okay. And then once you have it filled to the capacity that you want it, you want to go ahead and cut off the sock. This one, the sock was cut off just below the heel. So the heel got cut off of the gnome. All right, and then we're going to take double rubber bands, and we're going to rubber band the very top. I did 2 at the same time. That's how I do rubber bands. And then we're going to do is finally going to use our hot glue. And what we do for our hot glue is we're going to glue around the, to basically glue that fabric down. This just helps secure it even more. All right. And then I'm just going to take another rubber band, and I'm going to rubber band that knot. So basically the rubber band is going to be inside and outside. All right. And this is very, very quick. That's just for added security. All right. Now what you want to do is you want to lay your sock gnome down with the good side forward, and you're going to find his nose. Now, like I said, this particular one is going to be short and squatty, so you're going to make sure his nose is just about center. And you grab as much of the epsom salt and as much of a nose as you want to have. You want to have this thing have a giant Jimmy Durante type nose. You grab a giant wad of sock and epsom salt. If you want him to have a little tiny nose, you go ahead and grab accordingly. And then we're going to use the yellow rubber bands. Red would show up a little bit. You don't see the yellow at all. I think that the red might have a chance if you go from sideways or whatever to see it. And then we're going to decide what kind of sock we want for the clothes, pretty much. And that's where the gray is going to be. Here is going to be his clothes. But before we put his clothes on or whatever, we're going to cut his beard. Now, this first one, I did not pay attention to the nap of the fabric, which is the fur goes in which direction, before I cut it. And to be honest with you, these 2 that I'm using are actually the scraps left over from projects in the past. I always tell you keep your scraps, but I knew that I wanted to make these. We were trying to make them with Sharon, but we really just ran out of time. But I knew I wanted to make these, so I went ahead and I saved the scraps that could be beards. All right. But you want to make sure that you brush the fur down on the nap excuse me, the nap down on the microfiber cloth in the direction you want the beard to go, and then cut it out. You're basically going to cut out a triangle shape and then cut out a C shape at the nose. It just makes it easier to go underneath the nose. Now for this particular short and squatty gnome, we're going to go ahead and cut the sock that's going to be his clothes. We're going to use the top part, the shaft of the sock, and we're going to cut the heel to the top of the sock where you put your foot in. And the heel is just going to go right under his nose. We're just going to use that little extra material to go under his nose so that his clothes actually come up to what would be his ears or something. So the clothes are higher. And now as far as his beard's concerned, I basically cut the triangle in half and till I had it the length that I wanted. And then while it was folded in half, I cut the little half semicircle off the top to go underneath the nose. And like I said, the reason we like to do that is because this way you don't have a lot of bunchy material up there. And again, I'm sorry I didn't actually get to show you this very well right here, but you'll see it better on the second one, all right? So after you get his clothes on, then you want to go ahead and you want to glue his beard on. And that'll also help keep his clothes in place. As you can see on the short and squatty one, that the little white band on the sock is actually almost creating like what would be feet or boots. And then we're just going to add a little glue. I did it right under the C to glue right under his nose. And then I did along where the beard would cling to his cheeks. I let it hang naturally down on the sides, so it's only connected across that top line under the nose and across the top line again. Okay, and then any glue strings, fluff his beard down. And now for his top hat, not top hat, for his top sock, Lisa wanted a flop over hat. She was like, absolutely a flop over hat. Why are you even asking me? So I didn't have to do anything to this sock. Other than making sure that I put the heel towards the back of his head. And we put it on, and you want it to come down over the edge of his beard, over the back of his clothes, fold the brim over if you like that, and then fold the floppy part over as well. You could tie a rubber band to a pom-pom like we do for the second hat onto this one. That would look cute as well. It would look really cute if you tied the thing on and then cut the toe off. That would look cute as well, almost like a little skier type hat. I just think he's so cute. You just want to shape him the way you want him to be. And there he is, all cuteness with his beard hanging on the floor. Oh, I just love him. And now we're going to make the other one, second sock. This time we're going to fill it with rice. Now it was just suggested, somebody asked me, how do you keep bugs out of your rice sock gnome? And it was told to me that you can put a bay leaf in there and it will help keep all of the buggies away. I will tell you that the rice didn't fill out the sock as much as the epsom salt did. So this is a taller, skinnier sort of gnome. I actually said to Lisa, you should have made mine, I could have made yours. But I did want to demonstrate to you guys both of how we made them. So as you saw there, I just put the sock around the top of the bag of rice and just poured it. This is about a half a bag of rice, so it's about a pound and a half. It's a little less than a pound and a half. And the top of the sock, just the band at the top of the sock got cut off. The heel is still attached to the gnome. All right. And now I'm repeating the same thing with the glue. I'm gluing around under the rubber band to fold over. And I'm sorry, it's all off camera there for a second, but you see there how it looks. And I didn't put the second rubber band on this one. So I wanted my little rice guy to have a bigger nose, a little bit bigger of a nose, kind of an oval shaped nose. So that's how I grabbed it. And again, in the middle, he could have been, his nose could have been higher, so he could have been like a taller, fatter little guy, but this is the way I wanted him. Now mine is going to have the opposite of Lisa's. I'm going to use the black and white sock as his clothes, and the gray sock is his hat. The black and white sock that I got at the Dollar Tree did not have any rubber grips on the bottom, but the gray sock did. So I'll show you how we deal with that in case you have it. But I cut it the same way. I cut it where I cut the heel and I used the toe part of the sock for this one. I basically cut the top of the shaft off above the heel. So the heel does the same thing where it goes under his nose to give him extra fabric up the sides. And now I'm just deciding where I want his beard to go and in which direction. Because like I said, learn from your mistakes, right? And I cut out just under his nose. And again, you just want to add the hot glue, the same thing to the semicircle that you cut out. I like to glue his nose down first. This way it helps me place the rest of the beard. And then go in one direction and then again in the other direction. So he's pretty much done except for his hat. Now, while you watch me put his hat on, I'm just going to make sure that his hat, the little gray dots go in the back. I'm pulling his hat way down because he's got quite a big head to stuff his hat. He's just going to be a taller, skinnier gnome. But I wanted to tell you guys that you can decorate these for the different holidays, and that's what I'm going to do. Lisa has hers here, and we're going to be like friend gnomes. And I'm going to create little decorations for him to have out all year. That's why I wanted mine to be in neutral colors. He's not a Christmas gnome. He's just a little tiny Scandinavian gnome woodland guy. Like I said, this sock had a white band around the top, white heel, and then a white toe. So I've tied a rubber band just under the white toe to create like a white pom-pom. And I folded up the white band at the bottom to have like a gray and white stripe part of his hat. And I've tucked all of the rest of his hat in the back. And he is just super cute. So what I'm going to do is you'll see in the future, we'll decorate him for all different holidays. I'm going to create little signs for him to hold. I'm probably going to glue them onto little pins or safety pins so that he can be decorated for all of the different major holidays. And I just really, really love him. I hope you guys do too. If you do, give them a thumbs up. If you have any questions at all, please leave them in the comments down below. Don't forget to share with friends and family. Anybody you know might be interested in seeing how to make one of these or both of these. And if you haven't yet, click subscribe, and when you do, a little bell will pop up. When you ring that bell, YouTube will let you know whenever I upload a new video. And as always, you take care, God bless, and we'll see you next time. Bye.